All right, EBT, SNAP, welfare, whatever you want to call it, is shutting down in November. So I found this video that I want to react to. It's a little lengthy, but I just want to react to it. Check it out.
Yeah, cancel all of this shit. Everything is canceled, okay? Don't go out there buying all of these gifts, all of these presents. Don't go out there buying all of this. Furthermore, you need to start cutting down on your spending and stop buying unnecessary stuff, okay? Because the only way we're going to affect these people is to hit their pockets. They don't give a damn about us, all right? They done suspended SNAP benefits for the month of November. They said, hey, states, we ain't got it. But you're sending money to other countries. Meanwhile, the government is shut down about an argument about health insurance and about other things that Americans need. But you're sending my money to another country. Shut the shit down. There are people that are going to be in the month of November starving. Food banks was already packed and already full. They're going to be even more packed than ever. And as a matter of fact, if you have the means and you feel like, oh, I haven't been affected yet, go ahead and give. Instead of spending money on bullshit this year, how about you go ahead and give to your local food banks? And it's no coincidence that they canceling food stamps this month. We're done. Shut it down. Only buy necessities. Yeah, holidays is canceled. Don't go out there buying your kids $1,000 worth of gifts. They'll understand. They'll get with the program. They'll adapt. They'll adjust. It'll be okay. You got to hit their pockets. You got to hit them where it hurts. They're not going to listen until you affect their money, affect their wallet. Since they want to take money out the government, and a lot of these big corporations, big businesses are the ones that's funding it. Yeah, holidays is canceled. Next 4 years, stop buying shit up. They don't give a damn about us. Stop buying shit up. Baby, don't go out there buying up all that shit. Sit the fuck down. Next 4 years, we sitting the fuck down.
All right, folks. So there's a lot to unpack there, right? And I will say that she does make some valid points in reference to, like, our government sending money overseas. And, if you have money to give to a charity or to a pantry house, do that. You should be spending less, obviously, budgeting. But what I will start with is the holidays. The holidays, who cares about the holidays? I know a lot of people care about them, and they want to spend time with family and everything. But what's more important? I mean, you can spend time with your family the whole year, But the holidays you have to. Like, I see my family throughout the whole year. I visit them in the summer or whatever. I see them throughout the whole year. But to go all out on the spending we do during Thanksgiving, Christmas, and these holidays are a scam, starting with the Halloween, then Thanksgiving, then Christmas, then Easter, then Valentine's Day. Listen, she made a point. Stop spending money on ridiculous stuff. All right. Stop spending thousands of dollars on your kids during the holidays. All right. The other thing is, EBT, if you don't know, like, let's say, for instance, you get $500 a month. You got to budget your money, right? You budget your money, whether it's EBT or your paycheck every 2 weeks or every month, right? So with EBT, if you get a $500 EBT payment every month, and you only spend $300 of that month, $300 of that money for that month, the other $200 carries over. So, people need to make contingency plans, and they need to budget better, especially, I will be honest with you, especially if you are in a system where you have to rely on the government to help you, because the government is not reliable. Take, for instance, the shutdown. They're not reliable. So people need to remember that. Hopefully this is a learning experience for people, that they can say, hey, man, you know what? I get this amount of money. Let me budget that money so I can be prepared if something like this happens again. Because once again, whatever money you don't spend that month carries over to the next month. The only way it'll stop is if your EBT card is not active for like 9 months. Now, I just learned all this stuff, but it's very interesting stuff that you can budget. You don't have to spend that whole $500 that you get for the month. All right. Now, it's interesting that she doesn't speak about probably the millions of people that abuse the system, that abuse EBT, SNAP, right? To include illegal / non-citizens, right? Because there are non-citizens out there that receive the benefits, regardless of what they tell you. I mean, they try to break it down and tell you, oh, non-citizens, it depends on their status, blah, blah, blah. But The thing is that they shouldn't be receiving that because they're non-citizens. They're not paying into the system the way that an actual citizen pays into the system. Now, government spending, going back to the government spending overseas, right? So I will agree with her that our government shouldn't be spending so much money overseas, sending money to a lot of these countries overseas. But it's done for a reason. It's for geopolitical reasons. So it's the name of the game. We have to do it. We just got to tighten down on it a little more. You know what I'm saying? But I tell you what, she doesn't mention the Doge and what Doge did and how they came in and started cutting back on system. I guarantee you, I'm pretty sure, guarantee you that she was one of those people complaining about Doge taking away programs, like shutting down USAID or $5.5 million in LGBT activism in Uganda or $2.5 million for electric vehicles in Vietnam. But I digress. Anyway, moving on to the next one. Listen, I feel people are getting way too comfortable. All right, way too comfortable. They've been on the system for so many years that they're just comfortable with it, and they're so comfortable relying on the government that they say, oh, that's always going to be there for me. You know what I'm saying? Instead of making a plan for something like this happens, like I mentioned earlier, have a contingency plan, a backup plan for something like this happens. All right. Now, 16 October was the first announcement that came out that said that SNAP EBT was going to be suspended in November. Think about this, folks. And I heard somebody say this earlier in TikTok. That's 2 weeks. 2 weeks. So you're telling me that in those 2 weeks, from the time the announcement was made to the time they shut off EBT, you're not making any plans to make sure that your kids eat? And this goes back to what I was saying as far as spending that whole $500. Now, some people get more, some people get less. But what I'm saying is budget that $500 that you get every month and budget it so that if something like this happens again, you'll have something to fall back on and you won't have to worry about your kids not eating. All right? That's all I'm saying, folks. Another thing that she won't mention is why the shutdown is happening, right? She won't talk about how the Democrats refuse to open the government up again because they're trying to force the Republicans into adding more spending. All right, they want to add $1.5 trillion into the CR that was already voted on 19 September in the House. All right, so they want to add $1.5 trillion to that CR. What is that? That's more spending. We don't need to spend more money. But she doesn't mention that. She doesn't say anything about that. She's complaining about us sending money overseas and shutting down EBT, but she won't complain about the fact that the Democrats are the ones that are keeping the government shut down because the Republicans won't agree to spend more money. Think about that for a minute. Another thing, politicians don't care. She's right about that. Politicians don't care because I guarantee you these politicians are still getting their $173,000 per year salary. And because even though this government shut down, come October 31st, they're still going to get their check after that. All right? Guarantee you that. And who knows what other money they're making, all these politicians up there, these Congress individuals. How much money they're making from speeches or events that they go to, whatever it is. They don't care. They really don't care. And the last thing I will say is this is affecting more people, not just people that are on social services programs, like SNAP and EBT. This is affecting a lot more people, such as federal employees like the TSA officers. All right, so it's not just affecting, she only mentions the SNAP and EBT thing, and they try to pull on your cord of sympathy and empathy by saying the kids are going to starve, people are going to die. Listen, this is affecting more than just these people that are getting these social services programs. All right. So with that said, sit your butt down. Please like, follow, subscribe, share, and all that good stuff. If you want to see more content like this and help me support this channel, buy me a cup of coffee. Link is in the bio. And on that note, I'll see you in addition.